Bam.
First on the track.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Hoodlum Autos Garage. Last video, guys, you guys seen me go out and test the 300Z. She made it. I don't really know. It's about a 15 or 20 mile drive. I went and hung out with Jesus. I drove it around a bunch. Did run into some overheating problems, but that was solely because I still had air in the system, but we made it home. She's running good. Went ahead today and we topped her off with coolant. We're gonna bleed the system a little bit more and she should be good to rip. The next thing we need to address is the oil pressure sensor, the nylon line. To fix that, I need to go and get a copper line from the auto parts store, and then I'm also gonna remove the gauge from where it's at to somewhere that is a little easier to look at, so I'm not looking down all the time when I'm driving. Lots to do, and I'm super excited because, you know, this guy has been up and down all year long. Yesterday was the true test, and yeah, she ripped, and she ripped good. She's not the fastest thing in the world, but we have plans to change that in the future, and you guys will probably be excited about that. We're gonna move on to a different project for the day. I had never trimmed down the brake pedal. This is still the automatic brake pedal, so I'm gonna trim it down on both sides. I gotta find something in here so for the spark, so it doesn't eat through the carpet or whatever. Just note that most of the interior is gonna be replaced anyway, so I'm not super worried about it, but I do wanna kind of keep it as clean as possible. So I do wanna make it to where I could still do like the heel toe downshift. You know, you have a lot of the ball of your foot on here, and then you press it with the heel, you press the accelerator with your right foot while braking at the same time. So I'm only going to trim a little bit off of this side, but we are going to trim a good amount on this side just so I got plenty of space for the clutch pedal. And obviously, you know, my temporary oil pressure gauge, this is going to go away and we're going to put it somewhere else, just so this is all free of clutter and, you know, my leg is not right up on it. A little sketchy being inside the car. Dang, I'm hotboxing myself. Damn, homie. In high school, you was the man, homie. There we go. So I use my work jacket to cover the seat. Man, it's smoky in there. Oh, much better. Much better. Okay, that is finished. There's several things to address on the car. So like I'm trying to just narrow down everything that doesn't cost me money to fix right at the moment. So we got the brake pedal done. That should feel a ton better while driving. Yesterday when I was driving it, since I haven't really driven it all that much in the last year that I've owned it, you know, that brake pedal is really close to the gas, and then it's also really close to the clutch. So, you know, it's kind of, sometimes you brush up on it when you touch the clutch or do whatever. So glad I cut that. I do want to switch out the rear tires because I want a little bit more contact patch, and then I want the nice square look. I know that's not a thing for drifting, but it's something personally that I like. So yeah, who cares what the norm is? All right, guys, so let me address the GTO. The GTO has like 4 big projects that need to be done on it. Actually, they don't need to be done. It runs and drives just fine. I could leave it and it'd be all good. But knowing me, I want the best possible product that I could produce. So with that being said, there's 4 different projects that need to be done on the GTO. Once my space opens up, we'll be handling it. I know I've been covering the Z a whole ton, but the Z is, you know, the Z is gonna be more the seat time car and driver. The GTO, you know, is gonna get a whole lot more work and a few changes. So the GTO will be my higher horsepower car for the time being. Obviously, we may add boost to this later in the future, but right now we're just trying to enjoy the Z as much as possible because this will give us a lot more seat time and a lot less chance of breaking as many parts as the GTO will with less power. So, or with more power, whatever. You guys understand what I'm saying. Let's do a little cold start. But what is this? What is this? That's how I feel about the snow. Man, I hate this crap, man. Gotta get this thing done, so that is out of that stuff. All right, let's see that my charging system is working the way I want. So hopefully the battery's still charged up. Sounds like it. Okay. Yeah, we gotta go to the store. Might go play though. All right, cold start on the GTO. We just wanted to make sure the electrical system was working really good on that one, but I gotta take the GTO real quick. All right. All right, so we picked up the copper tubing. This is what I'm going to be using for the oil pressure line. Should work really well, so let's go get it installed.
Thanks to Mac, but sometimes I get ridiculous. I'll eat up all your crackers and your licorice.
All right, guys, we got our line, we got our fitting. I'm going to go ahead and use some Teflon tape on this guy, so then when I install it into the oil pressure like adapter, you know, we get no leaking from here. I'm trying to do, this one's a little harder because it's small. Just a little bit. Should be plenty, I think. Thread this guy in there. I may or may not put some Teflon on here before I reinstall this, but for right now we're going to tighten this guy up, and then we'll go ahead and install the line after that. All right, 8 mil, because when I left off last was I pretty much had plugged the back with one of the All right, there you go. So that's the guy right there. We're gonna tie it right into that one. It's a little nasty. I'm gonna clean it up just a little bit. But yeah, let's install our oil pressure gauge, and then we'll triple check that it works, and we'll figure out a mounting spot. All right, so we got her installed. So next thing we want to do is, one, we're gonna prep the line. So you'll need these two pieces. This little guy, this wedges this in, and this is the lock bolt pretty much. So let's install that guy now. So with copper, you gotta unroll this out. Hold on. We got my gangsta music going on, so hold on. Hey, you gotta have them vibes, no lie. All right, so what you wanna do next is unroll this guy how you want it. So this little guy, if you guys can see that, will slide on the tube, and then it wedges right in there, right on the end of your fitting, so then it creates a, you know, a airtight seal. So as careful as I can, roll it. Okay, we're gonna slide on the nut first. So you see the nut, slide it on like that. You can see threads facing down. We're gonna slide this little cone washer on next, like so. So then when you tighten it, it wedges it into the fitting. So then you have a airtight, full-on seal on the line. You slide that on here. Sorry, ignore my hairy hand. Then boom, just like that. You see the cone in there? Boom, like that. I'm gonna hold this down so it doesn't Bruh. You guys can see, just like that, I'm gonna get it as tight as possible by hand before we'll push that in a little further, as far as it'll go, before I actually grab the wrench and tighten it down. But yeah, so it'll look just like that. Obviously, I got a ton more line. I gotta route it inside in the manner that I want. So now that that is finished, that's pretty much, we're gonna repeat that same process inside the car. Obviously, I'm gonna route it in a certain way. But yeah, I gotta figure out where I wanna mount the gauge. I have 2 oil pressure gauges. I have one white screen and one black screen. So I don't know which one I would like to use just yet. I'm gonna kinda compare. Honestly, it doesn't really matter as long as I can see it. We're gonna button everything back really nicely, and then we should be ready to give it a real test. I do wanna go and slide it here in the next couple days or tomorrow or whatever. Obviously, I wanna switch the tires, but I have some burners on there right now, so might as well get rid of the burners and then switch the tires. So that's the deal. That's what we're gonna do, and let's finish her up. I don't know if I like this or not. I mean, it's a little hood rich. I didn't want to really screw into this bezel, but this bezel is already kind of beat up a little bit up here. It's cut and stuff. So for now, it's gonna work. If I had a piece of ABS plastic, that's what I would have ran here. A little better than it was. I'm pretty hyped. Now I just gotta test it out. There we go. You can see it in the cam. Chop, 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 chop. All right, let's make sure. Neighbors love me. See that? All right, guys, so now we know that she is fully capable of ripping. Hopefully next video, we're gonna get some temp slaps in, maybe some warehouse stuff. I'm just gonna go out and enjoy the car for a good little bit before we work on her again. So all of that was well worth it. I'm glad I took the time to go ahead and change everything out, everything that I needed to address. Now we just gotta burn up these tires so I can swap the tires, then we'll lower her down just a little bit.
Your life is that's a lost cause. High stakes, body armor, suicide, boy. It's the time for games and it's the time to kill. Make up your mind, baby, cause the time is here.